Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a good day. I'm gonna try to keep the noise to a certain level because my woman's in there sleeping. She's got to work in the morning. But St. Patrick's Day was coming up soon, and the weather's been really warm lately. So I got this shirt. Lucky to be me for a few reasons. One, I like cats. Two, I don't like when people false flag. When I was growing up, I used to play this computer game called Madeline and Carmen San Diego and a couple other games. Well, the reason I'm bringing that up is because, as a male, I got all my comic book characters and my different shirts and stuff like that. But then when I see other characters, sometimes they'd be like, oh, that's for girls. And it's like, maybe if the design is, but this is, a whole male shirt, you know what I mean, in spirit of St. Patrick's Day and stuff. I don't see, like, when I say St. Patrick's Day, I know some people be like, oh, pagan all. It's like, okay, whoa, relax. But speaking of cats, but what I wanted to bring up is in this video that I was uh I was on YouTube, and when I was on YouTube, I was seeing a lot of Hispanic Americans, I believe Mexican, they were getting on YouTube coming after African Americans saying, why aren't we helping them? And some of them was attacking our community. And I thought to myself, I was like, what else can we do? Like, when we tell people that there is a balance of power, and like when we say like the wealth gap and the power gap, we try the best we can with advocating, protesting. When we protested after the George Floyd thing, a lot of them people was getting locked up. There was no pardoning for them. When people then started rioting, because a lot of those were Caucasian people that was rioting, along with the other people, they were inciting these things, different people and groups. It's a lot more complicated than black and white anymore. I tell people this, especially in the age of information. And so, like I tell people, there's nothing we can do. We try to vote for the right thing. I could see from a mile away, Trump is in his 70s going on his 80s. This is his last term. He is about to go all out. He wants to be remembered in history. This dude is trying to write a page in history, and he's going to use people as examples. I've told you all before, Trump might do that thing where people say like strange things in the media about African Americans, but Trump loves black people. I'm telling y'all he does. He put on a chain, some shoes, and started shrilling. What racist, listen to what I'm telling you, in a world of concepts, go look up what racism means. What racist does that? Trump was a Democrat. He lived in New York. New York is a sanctuary city. He's only doing this to get the power. Look at all these cabinet picks. They're people of color. They're Hindus and stuff. I don't know what to tell y'all. But outside of that, a lot of Hispanic people don't do that. And a lot of Hispanic people have been advocating for it within the community of justice and all this other stuff. I love AOC. That chick has been on fire. Why people voted for Trump and AOC, I don't know. That's confusing. Honestly, I'm not about to get into conspiracies. I was about to say this election just seems really Elon Musk machines was counting votes, and there's a bunch of other stuff going on in the mix, but I'm not going down that path. I wanted to actually talk about something, a metaphor. I was in my kitchen about to make a bagel, and I thought about something, and it's what initially made me want to make this video. The concept of the beginning story in the Bible with the garden and all that. Now, if you pay attention to things, there was a garden, which I like to call the garden of peace or the garden of life. And within that garden, there was basically life. We had food for thought, we had peace of mind, and we were with that which I am. Now, when I say that, I tell people constantly, when I say that, I'm not talking about like my flesh. When I say things like that, I'm talking about a spirit of something. And when I talk about the spirit of something, I'm talking about we each possess that spirit if we wish to. Sometimes I heard people talking about an eternal separation from God or that which I am. And when people do that, they're just simply breaking away from who they are, jumping into a river of media programming or life, and no longer thinking for them. I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody let's say somebody has an inner voice or an inner whatever. When you see a color, what tells you what color that is? When you see people be like, I don't hear nothing, I just know. That doesn't make sense. You might not hear it, but there's an intuition giving you the knowledge to say that color. What is that? You'll say your brain. Okay. Your what? Brain. Okay. An eternal separation from God. Now, God's name is I am, an eternal separation from that which I am. Let's say a person gets into college, maybe becomes a doctor, and they start learning about delusions, schizophrenia, delusions of grandeur, all this different stuff. And then not only that, on the outside, they see an institution where all these people are locked up all the time that are nutty from just a whole bunch of stuff that's affecting them that they're seeing. Now, that person may never, ever, 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 ever get to know a side of themselves or experience certain things within because of their fear or what they're being taught from the outside world. I'll give you an example. Some people may have an inner voice where they sing, think, say poetry within, say certain things within. And some people may call that a mental health condition. Now, don't get me wrong. What I'm saying right now is not black and white. Basically, what I'm saying is sometimes people take what's natural and they destroy themselves and others because of what they're being programmed with or taught or how they're being taught. And that's what I call the eternal separation from God. Take somebody who's terrified of God now, right? Terrified of that which I am, terrified of themselves. Let's say a person is taught all the time, hellfire, hellfire. And let's say even as a child, because then I'm going to talk about nerves and instincts and environment versus nature versus nurture and stuff like that. Let's say a person from childhood is constantly in that book, in a Bible or a religious book or something, and they're taught about demons, hell, punishments, disobedience, all these different things that's forming and molding their personality from a young age, especially when the parents and or the adults are all conforming to do it, and so then it becomes true, 100% true, real, should I say. As that person grows, even if they change or break away from it, there still may be things within the nerves that affect a person. This is one of the main reasons why I eventually ended up smoking weed. You hear people say all the time, it makes you forget, and then you hear a mainstream media thing of forgetting, brain, and they attack it. The problem is sometimes people don't want to remember certain things. It's good to have perfect memory if you want. But what I'm saying is sometimes in the past, my mind would be clouded. Where is that also using the book, The I Shall Appear from the Clouds? The mind can be clouded with a whole bunch of data or information we've learned and stored within our memory. So over time, that is why books are good, because you can read things, learn new quotes, like when people complain and say social media is bad, but you know what social media is also doing? You have to know how to read to be on social media. I can guarantee it. Think about what I'm telling you. Now in a world where there was a whole bunch of generations of people that couldn't read, I guarantee you this next generation finna know how to read like a motherfucker. Because it's entertaining to read now. You see what I'm saying? And so you have to understand that there is a spectrum or a world. And just like that, how there's a bunch of negativity, and inadvertently there's a bunch of positivity. And depending on which way you go in the fork in the road, even mentally or psychologically, is how your day or your environment or your surroundings will go. That's all. So like, I give an example. In the Bible it says, in the beginning, we were to eat from the trees in the garden. We were to be at peace. We were to be at rest. But then we learned the knowledge of good and evil. So then not only are we also talking to that which is good, we're talking to the serpent too. It's two. Before we just had the knowledge of good, we only want to do good things. See, a lot of times when people see something, they take it literally. So let's say, and my mom before as a human, I only wanted to help people and build up in my community and build houses and I'm talking ancient man farming and different stuff like that. But then over time, I started to learn things. Oh, that's evil. that's bad. This is that. Look at those people doing that. Ah, for the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Now I'm listening to the serpent because I'm looking into what's bad. When I'm looking into what's bad, I'm trying to punish for that. And so I'm not doing for what's good anymore. I'm into the realm of what's bad, but unaware the serpent is so subtle, it's entangling into the world of bad. And then now I am inadvertently doing bad things for no reason. I'll give you an example. Before, I had no idea about good or bad, or let's say I'm just living my life and doing things that's good. But now in my mind, I know bad. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. They shouldn't be doing that. We're going to have to. Now, certain things need to be stopped because this isn't a fantasy land. We only did good. I know the nature of humanity. I know the nature of life. In order, there is chaos. Even if you want to go with the Big Bang or created, there's chaos first. There's a boom, and then something's there. So that's why I tell religious people and scientists, you two definitely should come together and start to. I feel like religion and science. I'll give an example. Ghost hunters. Now, I want to add a disclaimer to this. I'm not when I say religion and science, I'm not talking about using magical technology to go look for God, a physical. That's not what I'm talking about. When I say religion, I'm talking about that inner peace, that inner, like me giving metaphors and ideas and theories to try to redirect, like sheep, out of a wolf's den, giving new light, being a vibe that vibrates light out of the darkness. That was I'm sorry. So essentially, if you look at the Bible, then it's saying, stay out of the garden. I'm putting a flaming sword here. You're going to be punished. Don't do this. Now listen, that's because at that point, people aren't paying attention. The curse has already been enacted. And then now we're talking to the serpent and don't realize it. See, the idea is we only had good before, or that which I am before, but now we have that which I am. And the whole world's ideas, theories, religion, blah, 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 and corruption. But so now, instead of doing that which I am, I'm a good, friendly, lovely person. And get the f back. I don't like them. I don't fuck with people, man. I know how they are. Woo, 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 people, woo, the world is cold. It's evil. Da, 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 hell, hell, hell. You see what I'm saying? Now, the serpent has been getting in, entangling, and now he's planted a seed and built a tree, a wretched tree. Unaware, because instead of me realizing that's the serpent nature, I am then thinking that's me living life. When in actuality, you're like, don't have duality and do this and do it that way. There's no such thing as not having That would mean you get daughter idea and you go carry it out. That's not true. I'm telling you. You're going to have thoughts. You're going to have whatever. And that's where decisions, because that's what the whole Matrix is about. It looks mystical and stuff, but it's about decisions. He decided to let a whole generation of civilization of whatever die for a woman, but he didn't. He became so powerful. This is essentially, think about what Neo's true power was. Neo was told what he can do the whole time. You can only either do A or B, and you're going to die doing it. This nigga saved A, saved B, died, was resurrected, and then took over the motherfucker at the end. That's the point. He broke free from his programming. You can't. And then he said, I can and will and did. Think about what I'm saying. So do that to good. Do that to not cause harm. Do that to be a better person. Do that because everybody else may do something different, but I am who I am, and I will to do that which is right without causing harm. Yes, I don't like Nazis. Do I think Putin should bomb a bunch of stuff? No. But if Putin does not check certain things and Nazis run rampant, then what? Yes, are they showing an entire generation of Ukrainians ended, grandma, mother, and child? But y'all gonna put that on the BBC? But 10 years ago, 8 years ago, y'all was talking about Nazis everywhere in Ukraine. But then y'all will let Palestinians hold 30,000 generations? however many generations get erased, and now y'all talking about real estate and renovating. Like, bro. But the point is, through all that hypocrisy, I don't have to go, oh, I hate Europe. I hate the ooh, y'all almost got me. Ooh. I don't have to be a totalitarian. But one thing I will tell y'all from experience, I seen a group of African Americans after watching this Hispanic video under the comments typing, it's in their culture to saying all the negative things that are happening to us and what people do to us. And then I saw an African American at the very bottom go, isn't this what the Caucasians do to us? It sounds like them. But then I got under there and I told them, I said, so your whole point is their culture is to segregate against us, destroy us, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And they need retraining and redirection and damn near HR from a higher source to make them stop doing this. Then you're advocate, you tell them, you basically exposing it. It doesn't make sense. So any community that says, why don't African Americans, I keep telling you, they do this with everything. Didn't I say that? Before any of this happened, watch my videos. I said they was going to do this. They was going to do it and then blame us. What? No. I've been saying Couch 2024. I was going without money and struggling way back when. No, everybody thought it was a joke. You're homeless, you get a job. You should see some of the comments. Don't know nothing about me. Was not homeless or none of that. But now I'm comfortable in living my life and living through it and got a great job. Oh my goodness. And making more than I ever had. And people are getting deported and tore up and detained and all this other stuff. I tried. I am trying. What do you mean? So I don't know what else to tell people. Now all these people, I'm seeing all these posts from China and people come together and people learning what's happening in Russia. Every time I hear people talking about Putin, man, y'all are uninformed. I don't know the dude personally, but y'all always bringing up what he doing in his country and all this other stuff. Well, let somebody run in your house and see what you do. It's pure irony. I'm not saying a dude needs to be murking people, but all them Nazis. I'm gonna give you an example. Now I'm the now I'm the president of Juannie, and my name is Juan and Juannie. And since World War II, I know there's Nazis over in Germanica next door, and over on Germanica, I'm just letting them blow up Juanians over and over and over. Different countries in Sporadica and Erratica over there are making news cycles saying, oh, look at the Nazis in Germanica. Then when I go bomb Germanica for constantly killing my people, look at Juannie, all those people smoking the marijuanas in Juannie, they're violent. That's what y'all are doing. Russia and China is not third world countries. America's falling apart, dude. Now y'all want to get rid of education and books? I wouldn't be a part of that shit, man. The Bible's a book. Smart asses. And y'all can't even and the darkness comprehended it not. Apprehended it not. Because it's simple. Something simple that people want to be some huge magic, like this show I was watching, Ghost Hunters. There's a whole bunch of them I don't like. Because it's pure BS, and y'all know what I'm talking about. They do the little... my problem with certain communities or certain peoples is that they make something look so real, but when you actually look at it, it's like, are y'all serious? I can't tell if they're like trying to make money or if they really believe some of this stuff. But anyways, the point is, it's one called, their organization's called TAPS, they're ghost hunters. Oh, I love them. They take a whole bunch of equipment and debunk everything. But they still keep the thought that we don't know everything. They said something one time, they said it's called, because these people got mad because they wasn't going to put it on their show as ghosts and all sorts of stuff. And TAPS told them, they was like, it's called paranormal. It's outside of the normal, which means there's other things going on, chemical equations, doors shutting and air flow and all sorts of stuff. When he started saying that, I was like, I looked at my girl and I was like, hell froze over. I love a ghost hunter. Because that's how I feel. I don't know everything. But when I do logically know what's happening and try to manipulate people, stop. People do this stuff because they miss loved ones. And when y'all manipulate people like that, that shit gonna come back on y'all. It's time to tell the truth. The age of the fear is over with. We're in the age of technology, courage, information. Let's use the courage to learn who I am again, not me, you, and learn to be better people. One thing I do say is stand behind that stone, the 10 Commandments. I'm not talking about the 10 Commandments that say kill, stone your kids, hate your brother till you die. That's the law of Aaron. 613 laws with the Ark of the Covenant, the first 3 from the covenant, the I am who I am and all that, who they constantly, it's a whole guidebook in that book Bible, but y'all take it and go into fairyland and magic, and it's 616 murderous laws. But the 10 Commandments, don't kill, don't steal, don't covet, for thy neighbor house, don't want what everybody else got. Don't commit adultery, whether with yourself, and when I say that, I'm not oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, don't be all idling and all these spirits and acting a nut. Like Halloween and all this stuff, they're tools for me to entertain myself, not to worship gods and slaughter people. You see what I'm saying? The difference. Higher level of consciousness to understand and be aware of these things. But everything is for different people, and they got their different things. But, you know, don't kill, don't steal, don't covet, for thy neighbor's house and want everything everybody else got. Don't commit adultery. If you're going to get married, be faithful, man. If you're going to have because a contract is a contract. I'm not telling y'all how to live, but these are the things y'all are doing. Me personally, I'm more like a lion, and I have like my pride. I don't go around messing with, I have my woman, but I'm saying my family. Ugh, not like that. Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck. Not like that. I'm saying basically my peoples, me. I got my girl. I don't need 5 or 6 women. And then my family around I protect like a pride. Let me correct that. If people do got multiple, you know, that's them. But when like I said, I brought your family into that. Don't mix that. That's not what I'm talking about. That's gross. But anyways, the point is, you guys are signing these contracts. So then don't commit adultery. Honor thy mother and father. Honor thy father and mother. Once they come together and they create you, then you start doing meiosis and mitosis, and then from the foundation of the world, that which I am begins to build inside the womb, the woman, the earth. It's just metaphors, man, spiritual metaphors. So the more people, because when I tell you like these different stories and what things mean, I'm telling you what they mean to me. You can go open that book and create your own world of metaphors. Let me tell you the difference between a brilliant man and a fool. Let me tell you a metaphor about and open up your mind. This means blah, 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 blah. Let me help you understand this passage in a way that's different, or in another story, or in another way, in a real world that applies to this. This means this, and if you transgress this law, dance to my flutes and harp like Nesbitt commands. Yes, master. Flutes and harps, notes and harps. You know what I mean? You got to know the difference, or you don't. Dude, whatever the Lord is, whatever I am telling you, I hope it's pure, because there's that which I am, and then there's a subtle, lingering spirit of humanity that has come together to create darkness. Which one are you going to follow? So, I'm not telling you to go and shrill and pay a whole bunch of homeless people in the corner and jump and advocate for a community. They might turn around and strike you. But I'm not telling you to be a hard, cold ass either. You know the difference between right and wrong. You got a world, you got a life. Live it and do what you got to do. Because the older I get in some of these interactions I see between people and the things they say and the things that happen, I'm telling you, it feels like, I'm just telling you what it feels like. I'm not saying what this is. It feels like we're in like a spiritual plasma of matrix of something. And it pays us back for stuff and or pays us for stuff depending on how we react. Because I was thinking of all these people saying, we don't need programs and we don't need this and that. And but deep down, they know they're talking about people of color and stuff. And then it came back and strike them. They were all on programs. They just didn't know it was their programs. You see what I'm saying? Just subtle stuff like that everywhere. People's biting themselves on the ass all the time. People say something like, oh, get a job and you people are legend, then their job fires them for being racist. It's like, bow. And it happens to everybody. It disproportionately happens to some people because of a system that's created. But I'm telling you, that system's toppling over on itself, and the Lord will not be mocked. That which I am will not be mocked, because I am peace and clarity, and I am that which is. And so if, I'm going to give you an example. Watch this. Let's say I'm in a room, and people think they're going to be hurting me. And so they conjure all this shit in their brain, things against to hurt me. But in actuality, imagine a world where they don't even realize they're creating their own thing. And when the program, or when that thing initiates and they think it's coming for me, it comes right back around and they created their own destruction, if that makes sense. Imagine a world where that's happening and it's at such a big scale, and people are so, what's the word I'm looking for? Short-sighted, or have such small attention spans that they don't even realize it or see it until they become more aware of their surroundings and wake up. You see people say meditate all the time and do this and that, because they're becoming aware of their surroundings. You don't have to do that to become more aware. Me personally, I think to become more aware, I can interact and see things and learn things. That way I can understand things. But to each their own. Have a beautiful day. And I'm going to try to write some poetry tonight. If not tonight, within the next week. I could honestly just keep writing and writing, because I just like to create little anecdotes and metaphors and algorithms, just things to get the mind going, racing. The mind is like the body. We move and keep it moving and stay fit, stay swole, boom, bow, boo out the bam. The mind's just like that. That's why I've been advocating for video games since a child. It helps relieve stress. It helps take the mind off things. You're doing a whole bunch of reckless things, but it doesn't affect anything in the real world except the psyche. But then in the psyche, you want to keep playing video games. So I want to do the right thing. You're not so quick to want to go destroy stuff. That's just me personally. And that, a lot of the video games I've been playing help with hand-eye coordination, help with memory, help with problem solving and puzzles. I was already so good at figuring out puzzles because of The Legend of Zelda. That game was the truth. There was a whole bunch of puzzles, and RuneScape too. That game had clues, and a lot of people couldn't do the clues because of the puzzles. I used to kill certain monsters, farm puzzles, and get stuff. It was so much fun. Or clues. I miss doing that. But, So have a beautiful day. And, stay blessed, man. Because you got one of two choices. You can be like Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong and be happy and use your powers for good. Or you can be like old Donkey Kong and throw barrels at everybody. And then Mario's going to come up eventually and take care of it. You see what I'm saying? So that's just a metaphor. So be good, you know what I mean?